he's lost his job as manager of Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
Two questions. Has that put you off going into management when you see people you admire having to that? And is it a bad state for football that there are no black managers in the Premier League at the moment?
To be honest, that's a really good question because that's concern us all. Okay, because it's difficult, because I think Patrick Vieira is a great person, great coach as well. I think it's a sad part of it. We have to communicate about that. But I think, like you mentioned now, is look like, if I can say, a concern because if you have a 50% of the black players playing in the Premier League and maybe 1 or 2% of the coach being black, that's quite, it's quite strange, And I think the Premier League and the FA are working hard on it to just make things get it right, because for us it's very important. And as well for me, I can say, I'm confident, to be honest. I'm confident, I'm looking forward. I'm very positive. I hope the opportunity is going to come for me, and I'm going to be ready for it.
Yeah, well, it's not good to see. If you look at representation on the pitch, how it's reflected, in terms of coaching and managerial positions, there's a big difference. And that shouldn't be the case. Hopefully with some of the initiatives that's been introduced in recent seasons, there'll be a big difference and a big change, and you'll see a flux of managers coming through. But right now, that's not the case, and the numbers need to change. So hopefully, with these initiatives happening, you'll see some change soon.
Look, ultimately someone's lost his job, and I'm really sad for Patrick, and I was really sad to see the news. But equally, that's a decision for Crystal Palace. I'm sure Steve Parish made a decision for his own reasons, and he's got to run his club. But it does highlight the issue, right? For Patrick to lose his job and there to be none now is quite a stark statistic. So I think, when something like that happens, it's a real opportunity to really shine a light on it, understand why has that happened and what can we do to try and improve that. And I think it's really about making sure we're intentional about broadening the group of people we're considering for these jobs and really working hard. And if you look at the playing side, the work and effort that goes into finding the best players for the job, irrespective of who they are, their background, who they love, what they look like, that's a real focused intent around the playing side. If we're as intentional around off the pitch as well, an executive level, I think you'd end up with naturally better outcomes and more diverse outcomes. So look, it's a long journey, there's a lot of work to do, but I'm optimistic that we're going to see some results in the coming years. Yeah, I'm the only black board member at the Premier League, which is something I'm proud and troubled by. I'm proud to be the only black board director, but I shouldn't be the only one. And that's part of the kind of work we're doing, both at Brentford and at the FA in terms of really trying to improve representation, so that I don't have to be the only one going forward. So yes, it's important to mention that, but really in a sense of highlighting the issue, right? I shouldn't be the only one, and hopefully in years to come I won't be.
Yeah, it was disheartening, but I thought it was the wrong time. But who am I to say I don't run the club? I'm not the owner of the football club, but to not have any black managers within the Premier League, it's not good, considering the percentage of ethnic minorities within the Premier League. But there's one person that we're not mentioning, which is Justin, one of the coaches at Brentford, who he might not be a manager, but what he's doing at that football club and the way people speak about him, and I've spoken about him for the last few years, when he's coming to the professional game, he's somebody that we should be looking at.
Chris Powell leave his role with England, but Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank has now gone into the setup. How important is it to have a black face, a black voice within the England setup, in your opinion?
Yeah, it's very, very important, but again, I'm a firm believer you shouldn't get the job because of the skin colour. You've got to get your job because you're the right man for the job or the right person for the job. And time will tell to see if the people that was there previously and the person that's going in there now is the right person for the job.